Would you like to support MonkeyWerx directly? Head over to patreon.com/MonkeyWerxUS. You'll be greeted with 4 membership levels. Starting at the first tier is Spider Monkey. This tier is $3 per month, gaining Discord benefits, exclusive access to ad-free content, live SITREPs, Q&As, and video archives. If that's not enough, step up to the next level of Howler Monkey. For just $5 a month, you'll not only have Spider Monkey's benefits, but you'll get exclusive discounts to the workshop plus voting voice on new products. Next up is Space Monkey. At $10 per month, this is the ultimate level of Overwatch. At this altitude, you'll gain access to no-ad content, full archive, voting power, workshop discounts, and monthly AMAs where you can ask Monkey anything. Lastly, for the MonkeyWerx superfan, you can become the Banana Knot. You'll get all the benefits of Space Monkey plus an exclusive MonkeyWerx item every month you are subscribed that you can't buy in the workshop. Head over to patreon.com/MonkeyWerxUS to begin your membership and be a part of a God-loving, patriotic community.
Put up 79 Yankee Bridge.
2025, 79 days, Silver Ground, 6 Kilo.
2377 on Echo Kilo going somewhere around 597.
77 days, Silver Ground, 6 via Lima, Kilo 5, and hold short of Kilo 7.
All right, welcome, folks. Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. Listen, this is going to be your sit rep. It's a little bit past the hour here at 11 a.m. Central Time, coming to you from the great state of Texas. And it is February 6, 2023, which is a happy Monday. So without further ado, let's get over here to the Mini-Me board, and we'll kick it off here in Skyglass to see what we've got going on this morning. Let's see, number-wise, 362, which is on screen. Remember, mill aircraft only, and it's pretty busy. However, we always get the numbers skewed. We got 91 trainers up, so if I just put those out there, you can see. Let me back up. Let me right-click on the mouse, and we will take those off our screen, which gives us 259. So we're at 300, that's still a pretty impressive number kicking off the morning. So. All right, so let's get into our watch list as we kind of get peel the banana on this on this sit rep today. It's been an interesting couple of days, to say the least. And then, of course, we got eyes on Ukraine. There's a lot going on over there, and we continue to just send them an overabundance of money, a lot of it too. So, all right, let's get over to watch list. As you can see, there are our intelligence balloons. Notice that one right there. They're at about 80,000 feet. That one's over Florida. We didn't see that over the weekend when I was showing you the balloons that were up. Like I said, they come and go. They're always up there. We just see odd ones from time to time. Little E6 up, some PC-12, getting a little, looks like some recon there on the southern side of Arizona. And then some more intelligence balloons. I say Arizona, that's New Mexico. And then, the intel balloons, basically all three of them are intel balloons between Arizona and Mexico. Then we get over here to Florida, and you'll see we've got a little Dash 8 up. That's going to be a Homeland Security Dash 8. A couple P8s kind of running some routes over Florida. And it's a G5. It's a Venus flight, so it's going to be a training flight. And then let's see what else we've got in there. A little H-60. That's probably Homeland Security as well. And then, let's see, anything else? SAM flight, a little blue and white, dignitary bird headed southbound. And what is this one here? That looks to be I think that's, there we go, BE-30. Sorry, LaSalle Aviation. That's going to be one of your civilian intel gathering data on you and me. And there's a NOAA bird. Now, check out this NOAA bird. I find this one interesting. It's running some routes there off the coast, back and forth, nice and level, back and forth. Yeah, what are they up to? I don't know. But that is going to be your one of your weather birds. So, all right, let's get over to Europe, and you'll see we've got the usual suspects there. We got a P8 that's over kind of northern England, a C-135, which is over France, and it's a French C-135. Kind of running some routes there. Those are usually either electronics or nuke sniffer. I didn't know they had that. And then, of course, these NAs that you see down low, those are actually your balloons that are up gathering data. Now, they are above us on the screen there. We just don't see them. So let's take a look at Japan, see if we got anything catches my eye. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, nothing going on over Japan right now. So, all right, let's transition on over to heavies. Very active this morning for a Monday. It's really active. Now, I changed the color of our map so you could see these a little better as we look at these. But C-17, C-130s here over the United States. Remember, C-130s are more of a short haul, C-17s long haul. But that's moving goods across our country via the military. So, could be anything from equipment, supplies, troops, any one of those. So, anyway, that is going to be what we have over the United States. East Coast centric right now. A couple popped off there on the West Coast. We get over here to Europe, and you can see it looks like over the Europe side of the house. Give it a minute. Got a lot of things moving. C-130s and A-400s mainly. But coming out of Poland, we've got some stuff up here headed into Sweden. Some things taken off out of Oslo, Norway, headed northbound. And then we get back a little further, and you can see Luxembourg going on there. A little A400 coming out of, looks to be, well, I can't tell that from my screen because it is too small. Oh, Marseille. Sorry, France. And let's see, over to the Middle East side of the house. Look at Turkey. Very, very active right now. This could be because of the activity going on relative to these earthquakes. So we're going to dig into that here in just a minute. But man, when I show you some of the videos for these earthquakes, it is sad and it is unprecedented. So, all right, over to the refuelers. You'll notice we got some stuff rolling out of the Constanta area to the left of the Black Sea. And then looks like we're running some routes over Luxembourg as well. And that looks to be U.S. military. And then some stuff coming out over the water there off of England. And then we get over here to the United States. We'll get a closer look. Well, let's see. Wait for it. All right. And then this got a big launch coming out of the middle of the United States. That's kind of the norm. That's where they all seem to come out of. And a couple of things rolling out of Florida, West Coast, Tampa, and then down near Trumpville. And then we get up here near a little north of D.C., which we expect, right? These are feeding fighters. So, all right. R-135s, this is kind of from Friday to now. Look at this flurry back and forth over kind of Tennessee, almost end to end on Tennessee. And then this running across right down the middle of kind of the Michigan. So that could be looking anywhere from north up into UP, down south. Again, this is the one that can track an object the size of a soccer ball from 300 miles away. So very powerful reconnaissance tool. All right, we get over to Europe, and the only stuff I have is really coming out of Crete. It looked like they ran some routes there on the southern or the southeastern side of Syria. And again, like I said before, that place is heating up like a junkie spoon. And then it looks like over the Persian Gulf, we got eyes on Iran. We're watching them very closely, which is interesting given the current administration. You wouldn't think we'd be doing that. And then over Iraq, clearly worried about stuff going on there because, again, it is heating up over there All right, let's go over to Japan and Asia. This is an R135 again. I can't tell if it's coming or going because of the dark blue line. I think it's leaving the area. Notice it disappears when it gets kind of to the north of Japan, but looks like we got a little activity going on down there. And let's get over to the drones, U.S.-wise. This is probably a Q9, if I had to guess, Customs and Border Patrol. Punching out right there in the corner of Arizona, right on the border, and then running kind of along the border of California. So, and then let's get on over here to Europe. That is good coffee. All right, over to Europe now. This is a smaller drone. This isn't going to be a Q4 down here that's running north of Tripoli that we've been watching for quite some time, actually. But it just goes to show you right there in the Mediterranean, they've got eyes on stuff, probably looking at ships and things like that out over the water. And then this one, again, running right over Istanbul, running right over Constanta. They won't go too far into the Black Sea because it'll get shot down. So, but that's going to be your drone activity. Let's see. Now let's get over to the intel side of the house. This is going to be your military intel, your civilian intel birds that are contracted by the military. Again, Constanta. And over that general region, they've got to be looking at Crimea. That's the only thing I can think of. They just can't get close enough, so they're doing it from there. But then look at this stuff going on down here in Bucharest and in Hungary. Clearly, they're worried about something on ground in those regions, right? And then you can see the tiers. It's kind of like a triple layer cake there going on. And then we spin around over here in Japan, and you're going to see, got that little activity down here in the Philippines. Again, this is a civilian intel bird that we saw transition out to Asia. And that is going to be, again, probably just getting eyes on stuff because they're establishing some forward operating bases there in the region. Then over here to the United States, that one coming out of, looks like Biggs Army Airfield, headed northbound up towards Utah and back. And then we've got the normal stuff we see over Washington, D.C., Virginia, in that general area running back and forth. Again, this one is civilian intel. That's LaSalle Aviation, okay? All right. Now, let's transition over here to the TACAMOs. Actually, wait, let me back up. I got ahead of myself. I'm going to fast forward to this and get down here to Central America because this this is what we need to look at too. Remember, we saw this one transition down to Nicaragua, and this is where we're headed right now. So let me get us down here, and apologies for bouncing around on you like that, but yeah, sorry, I say Nicaragua. This is Honduras, probably located in and out of XPL Honduras, if I had to guess. All right, now let's get over here to TACAMO. This is Take Charge, Move Out. This is a Navy asset. Now, pay attention as we're looking at this, and I'm going to back this up because I want to just show you. Remember, this is the aircraft that is communicating with our submarine fleet. All right, it's an airborne command center talking to the Navy subs and our ICBM specifically, right? So the Trident nuclear subs, things like that. So just pay attention. You've got, just notice there's one in the Gulf of Mexico. There's one off the East Coast, off of Florida. There's one off of the Northeast coast up near, or actually kind of away from Norfolk, Virginia, that general area, and a little further north, and then stuff off the West Coast. So there's your stuff off of Florida, right? Gulf of Mexico, Cape Canaveral. These are indicators that we have subs out here, okay? Norfolk, Virginia, and then off the West Coast there, and that's kind of off of San Francisco, and there's that one off of that general area. So, okay, now that kind of gives you a general feel of what it is we've got going on. Now let me, again, this will tell you where the subs are. All right, so let me get back over to our mini board, and let's start getting into the news of what's going on. I kid you not, as soon as I go live, you guys can probably hear the dogs barking in the background. I don't know who's out front, what they're barking at, but it wears me out. So I apologize if you can hear them. They are little 12-pound Rottweilers, and they will mix it up every time somebody comes near the door. And anyway, my apologies. Like I said, if I go live, they go live. So, all right, let's get into the news here. This is one we need to pay attention to because it is profound, okay? This is actually, we've got, this is over on the Watchers. We've got a 7.5 aftershock that hit Turkey and the Syrian border. And think about that. This is an aftershock at 7.5. Most earthquakes, they don't even hit on their main, much less the aftershocks in that range. This is big. This in the region, this is a 7.8. Now, it says 1,500. I will tell you the numbers that they are talking about right now are in the 20,000+ range of people who have been killed in this. So this is unprecedented in terms of an earthquake and series of earthquakes. You can see them running. Now, if I'm not the earthquake guy, if you hear me reference this guy right here, Dutch Sense, he is the best earthquake guy in the business, hands down. If you're not following him, I would highly recommend going over there and following him if you want earthquake stuff. He will tell you exactly what's going on, and he has the ability, based on lots of history, predicting where it's going from here. But he will have a lot of coverage on this. Again, Dutch Sense, I put it up there so you know how to spell it. I say it sometimes, and I just kind of push it through very quickly, talk about him because I assume a lot of people follow him. But if you don't, this is your go-to right here, all right? Again, Earthquake Dude, all right? Now, let me go down here. I want to show you some of the stuff that we're watching from the earthquakes, okay? It's actually incredible. Turkey's DEMA, their DEMA, like our FEMA, has declared the highest level of emergency due to a 7.8 earthquake and its aftershocks in the central and southern part of the country. You can see this building is in just one giant pile, okay? Now, check out this video because this right here kind of puts it in perspective. Absolutely incredible, all right? Watch this. That was an apartment building, multi-floors with people in it that just collapsed right there, and you got it live. It's incredible. And then look at these. These are all the buildings after the initial and the after that are just flat to the ground. Houses, apartments, everything. And these you're talking 6-7-story apartment complexes that are full of people that completely flat. Just absolutely incredible. Sad, very sad. So anyway, we'll keep our finger on the pulse on this one. But again, Dutch Sense is going to give you everything you need to know on it, all right? Okay, let me get back over here to our main news side of the house. But this is going to be your latest from a NOTAM perspective. The one I want to point out as we get into our storyline here is this one right here. This is your kill box. This was the one that came off of South Carolina when they took out the balloon. We'll look at the video here in just a minute, but this is where it happened, right off the beach, 6 miles off. That's actually 6 miles. That's pretty incredible. And then you've got this here. This looks to be out until February 10th, which is a few days that are Operation Tailhook or whatever. Tailhook, let's see, offshore Atlantic routes are scheduled as follows. So, yeah, this runs until the 10th. I don't know if it's associated with this. They may have some boats out here patrolling or something. And then we got this stuff coming off. That right there, the long boxes, again, are usually associated with some type of a missile launch. Now, TFR-wise, that is going to be Camp David, all right? So it looks like we've got somebody rolling up to Camp David. Now, the reason it's not so big is because it is a bunker. So you don't really have to relocate Flashbang if things go hot. He's already in a bunker. So that's why it looks to be a little smaller, although it is bigger than most. And we've got another TFR out here over Phoenix, and that is that's Super Bowl. Okay, so anyway, that'll kind of give you a general idea. Then, of course, we get out here over the Pacific, and you've got these boxes. These are weather related. This is NOAA going out there and doing their thing as they mess around with the weather. And this would be the U.S. turbulence, kind of give you an idea what weather's coming inbound. Looks like they were able to deflect some of this and push it up into Canada. Pretty remarkable. And then you've got this stuff coming across the United States, headed down into the areas that are getting ice. Now, if we get over here to the radar side, again, TFR. Got an earthquake that just popped up here, 3.8 up in Buffalo. And then these dark-colored boxes, yellow, blue, reds, that's power outages from the ice. And it looks like they are still recovering from that. And now I'm just going to do a quick spin. Again, look at it's just coming off of the East Coast. Every time I'm in here, it seems like there's a storm coming off the East Coast. So, all right, let's get over here to Turkey, and you will see these are the latest reports. Again, 6.7, 7.8. This one here, down below it, 6.7, 7.8. Those are probably the two I just looked at. 7.5, and then this one here, 6.0. These are big earthquakes. And again, this is off of my radar, by the way. So it's a great little resource I use. Not crazy expensive, but it does it ties in TFRs and weather, pilot weather, all kinds of different stuff. So I've been using it for quite some time. It's a pretty cool little deal. And then, of course, the NOTAMs, amazing data right there. All right, let's get over to Flashbang. What is he up to today? Absolutely nothing. All right, that's good. I guess that's good. So he's going to be kind of shimming around the White House in his PJs today. So let's talk economy for a minute, and then we're going to get into this kill shot. I've got some video of it. It's pretty cool, but this is your Baltic Dry Index, all right? This is your indicator on the movement of goods around the world via ocean freight, okay? When this number is down, that means the movement of goods is down, which is an indicator that your economy is kind of popping a little bit. It's not firing on all cylinders. If people aren't consuming, that means your economies are not good, all right? So if we look at the total number, you can see here it's down 57.24% for the year, 46% for the month, all right? Now, if we go look at it from a year-to-date, again, trend is down. The 1 year mark, it is also down. Okay. So we'll keep our eye on this because this is kind of like putting your finger on the pulse of what's the economies are doing around the world. Okay. Very good pulse thing. All right. Let's get into the fun part. This is F-22 shoots down a Chinese spy balloon off the Carolinas with an AIM-9 missile. And it has been updated. You can see as it's coming down here, the box. It was an F-22. Pretty cool. And like I said, most advanced fighter jet in the world. There's your Chinese spy balloon. And yes, the Chinese are, as we say, butthurt level bravo over this one. All right. But they'll get over it. You can see the contrail from the missile as it comes out of the aircraft and goes towards the balloon, taking it down. And then I think this is actually, we probably caught it here, but I'm going to show you a different video of it as well. And we can kind of get down. You can see all the contrails of different videos that were provided. Now, here's the thing that I kind of get a little sideways with. I hear members of Congress and the Senate, et cetera, kind of thumping their chest because we shot down this balloon. The reality is, and they talk like we landed somebody on the moon, okay? But the reality is that thing should have never come all the way across our country. The history behind balloons, you can go out to Bikini Atoll. That's how they dropped one of the bombs in Bikini Atoll, which was a nuke for a test. These things have capabilities to be pretty powerful if they want them to be, and they're very stealthy if they want them to be, kind of getting into the country. So the other piece, too, is there are abilities. I've read several white papers that people sent me there is the ability off of a very small device to actually go over a country and hit it with an EMP from a balloon. So, that thing honestly should have been shot down the second it got over our country and was not over. I mean, when you're in Montana and Wyoming and that area, there's some pretty big wide open spaces that you could probably drop that thing without killing, cattle and people. Okay. So for us to let it go all the way across the United States and then shoot it out over the water, to me is unacceptable. But that just goes to show you how incapable our current administration is, that they don't, everything they touch goes to, hell in a handbasket. And everything they do is usually wrong. Right. So Ukraine, case in point. Okay. So, but here's the kill shot. All right. Let's get in here and watch this.
That's my Air Force right there, buddy.
So people got excited. It was kind of cool to see. The fact that that's our first F-22 kill shot is kind of surprising, but especially given that aircraft and how powerful it is. But anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of a mixed bag of tricks on this one. It's cool. It's great. But again, like I said, should have been taken care of way longer, way off to the west side of the U.S. and not all the way across. So now this is the thing that I kind of give you an idea. This is going to be your AIM-9. This is the missile system. And the big takeaway on this, this is what they call a Sidewinder, right? It looks big in the picture. It really is not gigantic. But the big takeaway here is the fact that these things run almost $400,000 a copy. So that kill shot you saw was almost $400,000. All right. Yeah, that's our government at work. Wonder why our taxes are so high. It's between this and funding Ukraine, right? So, all right. Now, this was the one data point that we have to walk away from. Just kind of, it is what it is. But they're saying that this balloon was at least the 5th spotted over the United States in the last 6 years. That means stuff came cruising across probably when Trump was in, and we did nothing. So anyway, yeah, they are spy balloons, and they've known they're spy balloons, and they've basically allowed it to come across our country. So, all right, let's move on over here to this side of the house. Let's talk immigration for a minute. Notice we've got a lot of movements interior to the country. Let's see where this one's rolling in and out of. So Minneapolis over to Lansing, Michigan. Now that could be a hockey team. I don't know. I hope it is, but we do have a lot of interior moves. Notice where they're headed. They're headed out of the country. That may be a good thing. We're taking some folks from the interior out, and a lot of stuff, a lot of movements headed down into Central and South America, I guess. Well, nothing in the South, just Central America. But here's this is Breitbart. Let's just touch point on this one as we look at Flashbang here in his cool shades. Over 800,000 border crossers freed into the U.S. without any court date since Flashbang took office. Yeah, that to me, I don't understand how anything that this administration is doing that is not treasonous. The funding of Ukraine, the fact that we are paying for a war for a foreign government in the $100+ billion range and counting. It just blows me away that they can do this and get away with it. And the fact that we're just allowing people to pour into our southern border, to me, it just seems criminal. I don't know how you do it and get away with it. And I don't know. Anyway, let's get into our Bohica moment for the day. So it looks like the U.S. will send Ukraine money for long-range bombs. It says they're expected to grant contract funds as part of the $1.7 billion Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. And yeah, so these would actually give them the ability to strike within about 94 miles and can be fired from platforms that are already in their arsenal. All right. Then the other piece, which really surprised me, is here. This is coming from the War Monitor over on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. This was sent to me. So, but this is breaking news, and Netanyahu is considering sending Ukraine the Iron Dome defense. That's coming from ABC News. It just blows you away how many people are getting into this. It's just remarkable. So, and that will change things. Remember, too, Russia at some point gets sideways with Israel and basically comes at Israel in the Gog Magog, right? So Ezekiel 38, you got Russia, Turkey, Syria, all of them basically coming towards Israel for some reason. So I believe it's probably due to natural resources like oil or natural gas because of energy crisis. But we'll see what happens. All right. Now, let's get over here to our Bitdefender on the cyber side of the house. As you can see, it looks like the U.S., Mexico, a lot of stuff peppering, Costa Rica. There's a lot going on. Notice, let's see, on Friday, around this time, we had 60,000+ attacks just up for half the day, which is pretty amazing. And so here today, we're at 45 million attacks, as you can see where they're coming and going from. That's pretty staggering when you think about it. And then we get over here to Bitdefender, as always. This is what I call our Star Wars map, and we're just getting absolutely hammered here in the United States. It looks like, and this is basically a cyber war going on. And notice where they're all coming from. Yeah. All right, let's move on over here to this side of it. Okay, Ukraine situation report. Kiev's modern tank corps begin to take shape. Now, these are actually arriving. This looks like, this just blows me away. To me, it looks almost like what you would see digging trenches and, here in the U.S., from like a backhoe operator. Kind of a weird looking deal. I'm sure that's bulletproof, but anyway, just kind of blows you away. But it looks like these Challenger 2s are already arriving into the region, and it looks like they are bringing Ukrainians into the UK to train them. You can see the aircraft coming in, the Royal Air Force stuff rolling in that are bringing, these Ukrainian tank drivers in to teach them and train them how to use the stuff that is, being prepped and ready to go into the battlefield. So looks like the initiative is starting to change. And then, of course, over here on this side of it, Jerusalem Post, something we got to pay close attention to. Look at this. It looks like Iran is about to put a drone factory in Russia. So they are stepping up their game. Of course, China is now fully engaged with Russia on this front as well. And that was actually over in Forward Observer today in this morning's news. So, but it looks like they're willing to risk U.S. sanctions. They don't really care because they're getting all their stuff from China, which we are not, right? So the flow of goods coming out of China, they're shipping stuff to Russia and Iran and those guys because they have a big need. So, all right, Biggs Army Airfield. Now, we've been watching for big movements, right? These things like this, Atlas Air 747 coming in from Frankfurt. That's going to be moving big stuff, tanks, equipment, missile defense systems, things like that. From there, it looks like it's headed to Colorado Springs. It is not showing as a camber flight, which would indicate it's not carrying troops, but it could be, okay? Now, the other ones that are kind of a key indicator that we need to pay attention to are the SPA, Sierra Pacific, Omni Air, and Allegiant, okay? This one is coming in from St. Louis. This one's coming in from Little Rock. This one's coming in from Lincoln, Nebraska. Where are they going from there? Tucson. That's returning more than likely RTB. That's where they're based out of, their hub. Omni Air is going back to Fort Worth. And then Allegiant is going up to Cincinnati. I think some of these moves right here are immigrant related. I do believe that they have fully activated that camp that holds about 15,000 people at Biggs Army Airfield. It is a massive tent city. I've had pictures of it. I've still got them somewhere. I just haven't been able to find them. But, from the air, somebody took photos of it. And so, it's a data point. I think we've got a mix here of stuff coming and going, and then of course here we've got stuff that's coming again. This one's coming in from Little Rock. So we had the one that right here, Clinton National coming in. That's an Omni coming in from Little Rock. This one's coming in from Little Rock, and then United Airlines coming out of Houston Bush. Could be troops, could be some rotation stuff going through. And then again, it could also be immigrant related. Okay. Now we get over to this is going to be Ramstein, and just showing you, you've got this one coming out of Crete. This is a Reach C-17. This is going to be an Atlas Air coming out of Baltimore, Washington, 67300. A couple more Reach over here outbound. A Spar that looks to be headed over towards Terceira Island for a gas stop. That's going to be a Dignitary. And then you do have a camber flight, which is interesting. Notice that's if we match that up, it's going to be that Atlas Air scheduled to depart. So it comes in, probably just carrying some logistics cargo stuff, and then changes over from cargo to logistics people stuff. All right, and we don't have a destination for that one yet. So, okay, what are we looking at here? This is going to be Atlas Air. Key point here, you've got this one rolling across the drink now. Looks like if we get in close, you've got this one going into Amsterdam. That's probably not troops, all right? This one here, this is Frankfurt. That is probably military related. And we did have a couple down here in the Middle East that have since disappeared. A couple into, looks to be Japan, some stuff headed into China, Southeast Asia, all right? Probably just part of the regular hub stuff. They do that route and have been for a long time. Now, this is going to be Caleta Air. Notice you've got this one down here in Spain. You got this one up here in Brussels. Those are probably going to be military support flights, as well as this one right here headed in and out of the Middle East. Okay, let's see. This is going to be, what are we looking at here? Oh, that's your camber flights. So this is coming out of Bahrain, and then looks to be headed westbound, climbing out that little arrow right there with the up. That's climbing 36,000 feet, 423 miles an hour as it heads across the Middle East to there. Looks like Saudi. And all right, it's the only camber flight we have up. That'll be troop movers right there. Okay, more than likely, or precious cargo, right? Things that go boom. All right, now this one here, Omni Air, that's a 300, coming out of Norfolk, headed to Shannon, Ireland. Could be carrying troops, just not showing as a camber. Could be logistics stuff, all right? That's a pretty big processing point. We typically run them out of Europe. They land in Shannon, come back to the U.S., all right? So coming out of Norfolk, Virginia. And then this is going to be your Navy logistics. These are little 737-300s, gray and whites. Looks like we've got one coming. We've got one leaving Carswell, one Pensacola, one Jacksonville, and then this one here is close to Amman, Jordan, and then this one here near Rota. And that's probably the one we see right here leaving Spain. It looks to be headed eastbound, 34,000 feet, 567 in terms of airspeed. Right, let's move on out. And this is going to be your Brits. So you've got one leaving Fort Hood and then a couple leaving England. So this is the one that left Fort Hood as it's starting to breach out across the Atlantic, headed home. And then these two look to be headed into Europe, getting airborne. All right, let's take a look at Guam. We do have an Atlas Air coming in from Hawaii. That, again, big mover, 747-400. And then a couple others. That Mojo, I think, is a C-130, I believe. Not 100%. I think these two are actually C-130s. This is going to be your Navy logistics ones, okay, departing. And then that Atlas Air looks to be coming in and then turning around and going over to Tokyo, Japan. And then Diego Garcia, we just bump in on this every once in a while. Remember, this is a prison location out. It is out in the middle of the Indian Ocean. And it's a big, used to be a big bomber place for us when we were fighting stuff in the Middle East. And again, a big prison location too. Just to show you, we still have this Air Transport International coming in. Mondays and Thursdays looks to be the tempo. So these could be supply runs. And then this Wednesday run is just kind of pops in from time to time. Could just be an extra, right? It's an indicator that you got a lot of stuff going on out there at Diego Garcia, really. If they're feeding them on a regular basis. I know when I lived in Kwajalein, we got the regular tempo stuff coming in from Hano. That was basically filling our shelves with, grocery store stuff, right? So probably what you got going on here, all right? All right, listen, let me make sure I covered everything. Oh, I did want to bounce in. Let's just look at Ukraine real fast. I completely flaked on that one. We're going to just look at the Ukraine map because it's important just to kind of get an idea of what's going on over there. It's, all right, where are you on my punch list? Here we go. All right. So just notice the red areas, that's Russia on their push. They are slowly making ground, and Ukraine's footprint is getting smaller and smaller over time. The south end, which is directly right here across from me, that's going to be Crimea, and that's a heavy Russian presence. That's actually, Crimea is Russia now. And then, let's see, to the north side, just notice that you're starting to see the artillery rounds, those missiles coming in to the northern side of Kiev. They are slowly closing the noose on Zelensky and crew. Now, the blue discs, again, are shots just being peppered into the interior, usually taking out power in cities and things like that. So, all right. So that kind of give you an overview of what's going on in Ukraine. All right. Okay, listen, that is going to do us for today. We will see you on Wednesday. God knows what we're going to be looking at then. So that's it. You guys be safe out there. Keep that powder dry and stay frosty. God bless. Monkey out. Check out the latest gear and products at monkeyworksus.com.